In this series on how I record, edit, and mix my personal audiobooks, watch me record an entire book, well, almost, in an audiobook right before your eyes, so you can see the entire process and the steps I take to record an audiobook. You know, in the last video tutorial, we went over all the steps it takes to record an audiobook. Well, in this video, I'm going to put those steps into practice and record an entire book, virtually speaking. My book, Motivate Yourself to Succeed, right before your eyes. When you see how this is done for each section, chapter, component, part, whatever, I think you'll have all the confidence and clarity and vision that you need to record your book or ebook into an audiobook like I do. Again, I'll be following all the steps that I outlined in the previous video tutorial in this series, so if you missed that video and the steps that I'm following, be sure to check out that video. That said, let's get started recording this book into an audiobook. And all I want is for you to just pay close attention to how I do it, what I do, the steps I take, the steps that I repeat again and again and again. Are you ready? All right, let's go. All right, here we are inside my book. And before I start recording, I got to go get a recording window open so I can start recording this book. Let's go do that. I'm going to switch over to the audio recording program, SoundForge, Audio Studio, File, New, Yes. And then here's our new audio recording window that I'm going to use to record this first section. I'm going to go ahead and hit the record button because I'm ready to start recording. All right, let's go. Hey, and welcome to the audio version for Motivate Yourself to Succeed by Bart Smith. Read to you by the author himself. That's me. Motivate Yourself to Succeed is protected by copyright law. The contents of this book may not be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopying, recording, or by any information storage and retrieval system without written permission from the author. That's me. Except for the inclusion of brief quotations in a review. That's okay. For more information about Motivate Yourself to Succeed, individual orders, discounts for bulk quantity purchases, audio training products, information on seminars, JV opportunities, mentoring, consulting, hiring Bart Smith, themarketingman.com, to speak at your next seminar, workshop, or event. Hey, please contact the author at bartsmithworld.com. Motivate Yourself to Succeed, the cover designs and interior layout for the paperback book was created by Bart Smith, themarketingman.com. All rights reserved. Hey, be sure to check out some of my other websites. Of course, bartsmithworld.com, motivateyourselftosucceed.com, and mytrainingcenter.com. Table of contents. A personal message from the author. An introduction to motivation. A motivational word. Go. Component number 1. Assess your current situation. Component number 2. Visualize what you want to accomplish. Component number 3. Plan your success. Kind of work it backwards. Component number 4. Work your plan towards your goal. Component number 5, overcome obstacles and naysayers. Component number 6, observe what's working. Component number 6, observe what's working and what's not. Component number 7, persist. You're almost there. Stick to it. Component number 8, progress. Hey, how's it going? Are you close? Component number 9, victory. You did it. Component number 10, next. Now what? What's next? And then let's recap. Summary. Motivated now? I bet you are. There will be and then there's other information that I'll be talking about, my books. Then there will be other information that I'll be talking about, my books, other websites, and information about my motivational coaching and speaking. Come on, let's continue to the next section of this great book, Motivate Yourself to Succeed, where we talk about a personal message from the author. Now I'm going to stop the recording because I just recorded that whole section. I made a couple of mistakes. I improvised in a couple of areas, kind of said something that maybe something came to my mind when I was reading it, and that's what's going to happen. So real quick, as I look at this audio track that I just recorded, I'm going to name it and I'm going to save it too, just so I can save my work. Let's do that right now. File, save. And of course, we're in the folder that we want to be in. Motivate Yourself to Succeed, audio, audiobook, wave. That's here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a title, 00A, because I have other front page sections to record. This is the first one, so 00. Before the components is what I was calling them instead of chapters. Welcome and copyright notice and table of contents. So we'll go ahead and save it. Okay, good. It's all saved. Now, let's do some minor editing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new recording window. And guess what this is? This is going to be a recorded window of silence. I'm going to click this record button right now, and I'm going to record silence for about 2 or 3 seconds. I'm not going to say anything. Now, when I play this silence back, you can't hear anything. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip off the back end and a little bit of the front, and I'm going to play it one more time. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do here, and I'll talk about this more in the next video tutorial about editing your audio, but I'm going to highlight just a little bit, a few seconds. Highlight. I'm going to copy. I've copied this silence. I'm going to come over to the front part of my audio, and I'm going to highlight this because this is where you're just getting started. Maybe you bump the desk, you got a little something rattling, maybe something, you're clearing your throat. And I'm going to paste what I just copied, that silence. Yes. And look at this. The beginning of this audio is going to be completely silent. Hey, and welcome to the audio version. Did you hear that silence? I probably should have played it for you before, but there was probably, like I said, just a couple of crackling noises. Who knows? You're just getting started. Keystrokes, whatever. Let's go to the end. Okay, and the same thing, and I'll play it for you, and let's see if we can hear anything. Okay, I hear a keyboard stroke, keystrokes, I hear a couple things. So again, I'm just going to highlight this, and I'm going to paste what I copied down here. I'm going to paste my silence over this just random air noise, keyboards, and I'm going to hit Control V, and here I go. A personal message from the author. Perfect. Now I have, having used this silence, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save this right here, this recording window. File, save, and I'm just going to call it silence. That's all, just silence. And whenever I need silence, I can just come here and grab it, just highlight it, copy it, and then paste it anywhere you want. Now, I'm going to go find those mistakes I made. And remember how we find mistakes? We look for the tall marker, the snap. Here's a couple over here. Okay. And when you first start out, you're going to make a couple mistakes. So what? You're getting warmed up. And recording audio is not perfect. So let's just go through here. I'm going to edit just this one audio because it's short. And then I'll teach you more about editing in the next video tutorial. But then I'm really going to cruise through those other chapters. I just want you to see the whole process of recording a whole book from start to finish. I'm not going to record the entire sections for each section, but okay. But let's just play, listen, and edit as we hear. And let me just enlarge this a little bit. Hey, and welcome to the audio version for Motivate Yourself to Succeed by Bart Smith. Read to you by the author himself. That's me. Motivate Yourself to Succeed is protected by copyright law. The contents of this book may not be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopying, recording, or by any information storage and retrieval system without written permission from the author. That's me. Except for the inclusion of brief quotations in a review. That's okay. For more information about Motivate Yourself to Succeed, individual orders, discounts for bulk quantity purchases, audio training products, information on seminars, JV opportunities, mentoring, consulting, hiring Bart Smith, themarketingman.com, to speak at your next seminar, workshop, or event. Hey, please contact the author at bartsmithworld.com. Motivate Yourself to Succeed, the cover designs and interior layout for the paperback book was created by Bart Smith, themarketingman.com. All rights reserved. Hey. Okay, so we got our first mistake. Let's check this out. Be sure to check out some of my all rights reserved. Hey. You know what I like? All rights reserved. That was the end. Hey. Here's a little beginning. Hey, kind of like an intro. Be sure to check out some of, and maybe it was a transition from one section to another. Maybe in the instance I didn't know what I was going to say. So what I do like is I like, hey, be sure to check out some. So I'm going to highlight this area right here, the silence, the snap, and I'm going to take the silence, which I was down here, and I just copied a little bit. I don't want the whole 2 seconds. Maybe I want a second and a half. Right-click copy, and I have this area highlighted, and I'm going to hit Control-V, and look what I did. I got rid of the snap, and now it's perfect. In fact, I'm going to delete a little more space, because, as you speak, that's how you want it to be heard. TheMarketingMan.com. All rights reserved. Hey, be sure to check out some of my other websites. Doesn't that sound good? Hey, be sure to check out some of my other websites. Good. All right. Let's keep playing. And we'll, of course, bartsmithworld.com, motivateyourself-to-succeed.com, and mytrainingcenter.com. Table of contents. A personal message from the author. An introduction to motivation. A motivational word. Go. Component number 1. Assess your current situation. Component number 2, visualize what you want to accomplish. Component number 3, plan your success. Kind of work it backwards. Component number 4, work your plan towards your goal. Component number 5, overcome obstacles and naysayers. Component number 6, observe what's working. Component number 6, observe what's Component number 6, observe what's working. So I got a little mistake in here. Here is my attempt, component number 6, to read component number 6. And here's the corrected version. Component number 6, observe what's working. Component number 6, observe what's working. So when you make these mistakes, you snap your fingers and you highlight the part that you want to delete. Okay? I'm going to delete this part where it says component number 6, because here's the corrected version and the beginning of it. Component number 6. So I'm just going to highlight the first part and the snap, and then watch this. Delete. Now listen. Come. Obstacles and naysayers. Component number 6. Observe what's working. Sounds great. And we fix that error. What's working and what's not. Component number 7. Persist. You're almost there. Stick to it. Component number 8. Progress. Hey, how's it going? Are you close? Component number 9. Victory. You did it. Component number 10. Next. Now what? What's next? And then let's recap. Summary. Motivated now? I bet you are. There will be other, and then there's other information that I'll be talking about, my books. Then there will be other So can you see that there are multiple snaps? And so we want to edit this in the moment, right here, while it's fresh in our minds as we just recorded it. And we're just going to play the sections to find out where we are. Let's find out where our bearings are. Then there will be other information. And then there will be other, I bet you are. Okay, so starting here, passing through this, and right here. This will be all the part we want to delete because here's the corrected version. Then there will be other information that I'll be talking about. My books, other websites, and information. That sounds good. It's here. And then there's other information that I'll be talking about. My books. Okay. And of course here, there will be other. So it's real easy. I'm just going to highlight this right here, and I'm going to delete that section. I bet you are. Then there will be other information that I'll be talking about. Perfect. Talking about my books, other websites, and information about my motivational coaching and speaking. Come on, let's continue to the next section of this great book, Motivate Yourself to Succeed, where we talk about a personal message from the author. All right. You know what you just did? We just edited this entire audio very quickly, very easily. We're ready to save our work, and then we're pretty much ready to close this window. Close the window and start a new recording window to record the next section. Done. Rinse and repeat. So with this new audio recording window open, I'm going to click the record button, and then I'm going to go to the book and start reading the next section. Watch this. A personal message from the author, Bart Smith, themarketingman.com. That's me. Hey, thanks for picking up my book or even listening to this audio book program. About now, you're probably thinking, yeah, great. Just what the world needs is another book on motivation. And you'd probably be right. To my way of thinking, most motivational books out there are too theoretical, pie in the sky, too much fluff, new age nonsense, woo-woo, just too complex and hard to follow for someone like me. Can you relate? So what's different about my motivational book, Motivate Yourself to Succeed? Well, for starters, for me, it's realistic, no hype, and based on my own experiences. How's that for starters? It's also written in a narrative format as if you and I were having a conversation. I've been where maybe you are right now. Yes, I've been there, done that, figured out what works and what doesn't, been in the trenches, confronted the naysayers, overcome obstacles, and from my experiences, I've put together some straight-on advice in this book that's worked solid for me over the years. This is the kind of book that would really motivate me to read and write. Speaking of motivation, let's talk about where motivation comes from. All of us derive our individual motivation from a variety of sources. For me, where business and pursuing my personal ambitions are concerned, my motivation comes directly from these key sources. Now, I'm going to stop the audio recording. I don't need to read that whole section, but I think you get the gist on how I go about recording these sections of a book, starting from the beginning and going in sequence, right in order, So let's go ahead and name this audio recording that we just recorded. File, save as, and we'll give it a name. 00B, because this is the second audio recording in the series, but it's still part of the front pages. So the front pages all get 00. Personal message from the author. Okay, great. That's what I'm going to call this. Hit the save button. And it saves it. Now you can imagine if I just kept recording, just the whole audio for that section, it would probably be a lot bigger, a lot longer. So right now I do see some mistakes. And why don't we just go ahead and again practice what we preach? Just highlight a few seconds, copy it. And you see how conveniently I have this window down here? I love this. I love this. Not a lot of recording programs have this kind of flexibility and feature about it where I can have these floating audio recording windows. I love this. So we'll go up here. I'm going to highlight the front. I'm going to paste, edit, paste. Okay, and all we did was create some silence of like pure golden silence. A personal message from the author, Bart Smith, themarketingman.com. That sounded great. And let's say at the very end, let's say this was the end of the audio that I recorded for that section. And just listen to this end. Okay, it's not too bad, but I hear breath, I hear breathing, and I hear a little bit of some keystrokes. So I'm just going to highlight this, and I'm just going to paste, Control V, paste, and there you go. Key sources. Totally silent. Love that. Now, if we were to go find a mistake, here's a mistake here. This is the kind of book that, okay, so this is the start of the corrected part of that reading. This is the kind of book that you would really, okay, so I'm just going to highlight this and delete it. Done. Solid for me over the years. This is the kind of book that would really motivate me to read. Perfect. We'll go find another mistake. Okay, I'm just going to highlight this and delete it. Do you see how fast this is? Do you see how easy and convenient this is? You recorded it. You stopped the recording. You saved your work. Personal message from the author. You went through. You're finding mistakes. Let's see here. I don't really see any. I don't see any other mistakes. But the truth is, there's more to editing than what I'm showing you. I'm going to go into a few more tips and tricks in the next video tutorial. But I think you're getting the picture. Let's close this window and save our work. And let's open up a new one. File, new, yes. And here's our new recording window. Let's go find the section we want to read. Let's say that we were done with this section. And here's the new section, an introduction to motivation. Let's go ahead and record this. Go back to our audio recording window, press the record button. An introduction to motivation. The time for motivation is now. Do you see yourself wanting to accomplish something, but don't exactly know how to get started? Maybe you have a vision or a great idea, but you lack motivation. Motivation is the desire to do things. It's a process that initiates, guides, and maintains our goal-focused behaviors. It's what causes us to act on something, whether it's getting up in the morning, putting on the coffee, climbing that mountain, or climbing a mountain, because we know that we want. It's what causes us to act on something, whether it's getting up in the morning and putting on that coffee, or climbing a mountain, because we know that we want to do something that's exciting and beyond our current state of existence. Motivation, next to knowledge and experience, is probably one of the most important components for succeeding at whatever we set out to do. The benefits that come from being motivated and maintaining high levels of it are obvious. Motivation is like fuel. The more we have, the farther we go towards reaching our desired goals. This book is about motivating yourself to succeed with an action plan that's laid out for you every step of the way, plus tips on orchestrating each step. I break the process down into what I call 10 key components that take you from your idea or vision to fruition, which is victory. This book is about success and how motivation plays a role in every step we take. Motivation is our incentive to work towards a goal. Why do we need it? Now, why do we need it? First of all, can you rely on others to motivate you? To some degree. While you might gain inspiration from others to do something, no one can promise to motivate you. Life doesn't work that way. One can only motivate oneself. Moving towards inspirational goals makes us feel good about ourselves. But how do we get there? The journey. This is what energizes the human engine to run and stay the course. So, why does motivation fizzle in some and not in others? Very simply, they either don't want something bad enough to do anything about it, or they don't have a good plan to help them get there through the tough times and when faith, hope, and motivation aren't enough. Now, I could have kept reading, you know that, but instead I wanted to stop the audio. We're going to name this recording, and just imagine if I had finished that section and read it all. Just imagine that. We have a finished audio recording with a few mistakes. So I'm going to save this audio right now. File, save as. I'm in the folder I want to be in. Here's the name of the title, An Introduction to Motivation. 00C. Again, front pages, 00. C, this is the third audio in sequence to how I want the order to appear for these sections. Excellent. And by the way, we're saving in WAV format. Just a little reminder on that one. Love that. WAV format. Love it. Uncompressed audio. Okay, sounds perfect all the time. And remember what we do. I'm going to go ahead and copy some silence. I'm going to put it at the front. An introduction to motivation. Gotta love it. We'll go to the end. And motivation aren't enough. I'll go ahead and highlight that and paste it. Good deal. And let's go find a mistake real quick. Okay, here's a mistake. Need it? Now, why do we need it? Motivation. This book is about that take you from your idea and plays a role in. Motivation is our to work towards a goal. Why do we need it? Now, why do we need it? Why do we need it? Now, why do we need it? Okay, so I'm going to make a decision to highlight this area right here. Why do we need it? Now, why do we need it? First of all, now, why do we need it? Why do we need it? And I'm going to delete that. To work towards a goal. Now, why do we need it? First of all, perfect. Sounds great. Let's go find another mistake in here. And you know, sometimes you're going to make multiple mistakes right in a row. You might as well just snap your fingers a few times like, oh, wow. So this was my first attempt, but then that failed. And here was my next attempt, and that failed. And then there was a third attempt. And so just once, I didn't do it right. Oh, and that wasn't good. Okay, then I'll look for the third, and the third marker is the indicator of where the good stuff is. It's what causes us, or climbing a mountain, because and sometimes you want to just redo a whole section. So that's what the means. It's like, well, just forget this little one. This means I'm going to go back and just do this whole thing. So it's what causes us to act on. It's a process that initiates. It's what causes us to act on something. It's what causes us to act on something. Okay, great. So here is, it's what causes us to act on something. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight all this, and I'm going to delete it. Bye. And maintains our goal-focused behaviors. It's what causes us to act on something. Sounds great. Any other mistakes? You know, I don't really see any other mistakes in here. And in the next video tutorial, I'm going to go into editing. What do these blue waves mean? What do they look like? What are they for? How am I going in and out, zooming in, zooming out? You know, how do I do that? Look at this. What is this? What is this? These are breaths. They're breaths. We really should delete those out. Highlighting a little bit of silence, copy it, and paste that silence over the breath. No more breath. Oneself. Moving toward... I love clear audio without breath. All right. So pretend this audio is all done. We're going to close it. We did good. Save our work. Go get a new audio window. Excellent. Rinse and repeat. Let's go get the next section ready to read. And sometimes I like to look ahead, go, okay, great. This is just one page. I'm relieved. Because sometimes you're reading 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. But in this case, this is just one page. So let's just read this one page. Here we are in the recording window. I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. A motivational word. Go. If there was one word I could use to inspire you to take the kind of action you'll need to fulfill your vision for some quest burning inside of you, it would be the word go. There's no time like the present to get going and feel motivated to achieve your dreams. So again, I encourage you to go and do that which you are driven deep inside to do. Go and do that which you see in your mind you can do. Go and do that which you were meant to do. Go and do what you've always wanted to do. Go and do that which you feel in your heart you must do. Go and do what will bring success and reward to you and yours. Go and be who you were meant to be from day one. Now, go live your life and live it with burning passion. Use what you are about to learn inside. Motivate yourself to succeed to help you get there. That's just what I have to say to you. This is Bart Smith, the author. Go. Stop the recording. That went pretty well. That was a short page. Sometimes you might want to redo it, reread it, because it was only one page. You might just go and reread that page. But if you don't want to because it was good, then just go ahead and leave it as is. But sometimes, especially if it's the beginning or the end of something. So let's go ahead and save our work. File, save as. Here's the title, 00D, a motivational word. Go. The 00, front pages. The D, A, B, C, D, in sequence of order for this audiobook. Good. Save. Wave format. Yep. Save. Let's go ahead and highlight some silence. Copy it. Put it at the front. Paste it. A motivational word. Sounds good. Let's go to the end. Paste it. It's just what I have to say to you. This is Bart Smith, the author. Go. Sounds good. I don't think we made any mistakes in this audio. I don't really recall. Just kind of going through here. Looking through it. No. But what I do after each audio is I go through it, I zoom in, and I get rid of all the breaths. I don't like breaths. Yeah, I don't like that. So I highlight just a few seconds, copy it, and wherever I see a gap, I just paste my silence over the gap. A motivational word. Go. If there was... Did you hear this? Okay, it's kind of like, your breath. You're taking a breath. So again, I highlight what I can and I paste my silence over it. Go. If there was one word I could use to inspire you to... Okay, that sounded great. Here's another one. Here's another breath. And again, I'm just going to highlight this, right? And when I paste my silence over that, it's a little too much. So I'm just going to highlight a little bit and delete it. Inspire you to take the kind of action you'll need to fulfill your vision for some quest burning inside of you. It would be the word. No, we don't want that. Highlight, paste. Delete some of that, just a little bit. For some quest burning inside of you, it would be the word go. Yeah. See, when you get rid of those breaths, the listener loves to hear clean air. Just clean, like silence. And then your voice. That's it. And then I'm going to talk about, no, they don't like that. No. Highlight, paste, Control V. Excellent. Go. There's no time. Like, I love silence. Now, let's highlight only a small amount of this silence, not a large, and we're talking about 1 second. Well, now we're talking about half a second. And see this right here? No, goodbye. The present. To get going and feel motivated to achieve your dreams. So again, I encourage you to go and do that which you are. More breaths. Go and do that which you are driven deep inside to do. Go. Going to highlight just a smaller piece of silence. And I'm just going to find them. I see them. I see them because I've enlarged the audio. And I see them, paste over them. And I'm just going to cruise through this looking for what I think. Yeah, get rid of that. Paste that which you were meant to do. Go. Breath. No. Bye. Go and do. This is the process of editing audio after you're done recording it. You're just cleaning it up, getting rid of the breaths. And now I've just taken the silence, which I copied. And I'm just going through looking for breath in the beginning of a spoken word. Just get rid of it. Go and do what will bring success and reward to you. Reward to you and yours. Go and be who yours. Go and be who. I'm just getting rid of the breaths. Cruising through here. Looking, getting rid of them all. Bye, see ya. One. Now, go live your, lip smacking. Now, go live your life. And live it. And live it with. Use what you are about to learn. Use what you are about to learn inside. Motivate yourself to succeed. That's just what I have to say to you. This is Bart Smith, the author. That's just what I have to say to you. This is Bart Smith, the author. Go. Author. Go. And that's it. That's what it's like to record a section in your book, go through it, clean it up, and we did that fairly quickly. Okay, we went through the whole little audio recording. We took our silence down here. We took large gaps. We copied them. We went to the front, the start, and we just pasted over that area. We went to the end. We did the same thing. We went through the whole book. We found mistakes. Wherever we heard the snap or found the snap, we saw it. We made those corrections. And then we saved our work. So I'm going to close this window. Do you see how we are cruising through this book? Let's file and create a new recording window. Yes. Okay, recording window. Let's go get our book section ready. And we're at the end of the front pages. This is the end. There's no more. We now will turn to the body of the book. Component number 1, or for some books, it's chapter 1 or part 1 or whatever it is, section 1. So this is component 1, assess your current situation. And then as I scroll, I will see what I am to read. Now I have the option, I normally don't, but I have the option of reading a quote. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Because people just want to get to the meat of the matter. Quotes are nice, but it's up to you. Sometimes I don't do it. But here's the section. And we'll just go ahead and read a little bit of this section. And because we're about to record for chapter 1, component number 1. And then we'll save component number 1. Let's do that right now. Let's go over to the audio recording program. Hit record. Component number 1, assess your current situation. Whether you have a dream you'd like to fulfill or a great idea that you'd like to turn into a reality, nothing motivates us more than taking a good, hard look at our current situation. When you do that, you might experience one of these reactions. Excited about embarking on that new project. Driven to do good for yourself and for others. You're upset and you're frustrated that you're not where you want to be. No matter what best describes your feelings about your current situation, make an honest assessment and use it as fuel to drive you all the way to the finish line of victory. What do you think about that? Wow, I'm so excited to take action on something that I know will bring prosperity to myself and others. I'm just not content with my current situation. I know I can do better, and I will now. I'm really upset with myself that I'm not, where I think I should be at this point in my life. I'm finally going to, do something about it. I'm a naturally driven person. When I see something I want, I go after it. No one has to tell me. However you best describe your current situation, doing great, not so great, delusioned, or eager to achieve something specific such as money, fame, freedom, think it through thoroughly and then write it down in this book on the next page, of the book in hand, if you have the book in hand, of course, or make notes on paper or open a Google Doc. I do Google Docs all the time. Open up a Google Doc, put my ideas, thoughts, ambitions, goals down. Good stuff. It's your move. It's your life. You owe it to yourself to be brutally honest. Agreeably, it's hard to be self-critical, but the experience should give you clarity and empower you to accomplish great things. Now, here's an exercise. Exercise 1.1. In 1 to 3 sentences, describe how you feel right now about your current situation. Are you feeling pushed, frustrated, ambivalent, or discontented? Are you upset that you'd like to have certain things or have accomplished more things by now in your life? Describe in emotionally charged sentences what really gets you fired up about going after your goal. Now take some time to do this. I'm going to pause for a little minute before I proceed to exercise 1.2 coming up. But I'll pause for a few minutes for you to ponder what I just described. In 1 to 3 sentences, describe how you feel right now about your current situation. Think about it or write it down, up to you, but I'll give you a few moments. Now, you can imagine me reading the rest of that section. And by the way, that section is pretty short. It's actually just 1, 2, 3 pages. Okay? But here's something that I noticed. And again, remember, when you read your own book, you're going to find mistakes. And here's a mistake right here. See this line, exercise 1.1, I need to bump that down because that belongs on the next page. And then that makes exercise 1.2 look perfect. Yes. And then, of course, component number 2. But I love reading my book in my publisher program because as I see mistakes, I can make them. I can make the corrections for them. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's go back to our audio. And just again, imagine if I had read that whole section, Okay, good. What are we going to do? Highlight some silence. Copy it. We're going to go to the start of the audio. We're going to highlight. And we're going to paste. So I just hit Control V because I'm fast. And I'll go to the end. And I'll do the same. And we had a mistake in here. And do you remember that? I told you that before. Make your corrections because you remembered the mistakes you made. Think it through thoroughly. Think it through. So I'm just going to highlight this, delete it, such as money, fame, freedom. Think it through thoroughly, and then write it down. Excellent. There was another one. What do you think about that? What do you think about all the way to the finish line? What do you think about that? Highlight. Wow. Boom. Highlight, delete, done. Was there another one? Now, the truth is, when I do editing, I actually do start at the very, very beginning, and I listen to everything. So, I would highlight this, start right here. Component number 1, assess your current situation. And I would just start here, and I would listen to the whole audio. I talk about that in another video coming up. Listen to your entire audiobook. You got to listen to it. You got to listen to everything, all of it. Because if you catch something good, because if you just thought, oh, it's all done, push it out to the world, and let's say it was just littered with mistakes and errors and weird noises, and no, you're going to get a lot of bad reviews. Hey, whoever recorded this didn't know what they were doing. There's a lot of stupid sounds in there and sneezes and coughs. What the heck's going on? So anyhow, pretend that this audio is done and edited. What are we going to do? We're going to save it now. So let's save it right now. File, save, and give it a name. 01, assess your current situation. This is chapter 1, 01. It'll go right after this 00. Gotta love it. Wave file, not an MP3, but wave. W-A-V, wave. Save. Bing, bada boom. We can close the window and we can start a new one. File, new. Do you see what I'm doing here? Rinse and repeat. Let's go get our next section ready. Component number 2, we're ready. And let's see how many pages this is. I like to do that too. Like, okay, how big is this section? Oh, okay. Not too bad. 2, 4, 5. I have to read 5 pages. Hey, pretty good. You know what? I'm going to read these 5 pages, and then I'm going to take a break because, my voice needs a break right now. I need to just not talk. I need to just go and do something, go clean some dishes or something, go take a nap, whatever. The vocal cords, that is a muscle, and you got to be careful, not to overuse it, or else you'll sound, okay, number 2 is... No, we don't want that. So let's go back to recording window, hit the record button. Component number 2, visualize what you want. Now that you've assessed your current situation and know where you stand with regard to your wants and desires, can you visualize your ultimate goal? What does it look like? Where do you see yourself in so many weeks, months, years? How we see ourselves really matters. Use this checklist that I'm about to share with you. to expand on your thoughts and ideas. Okay? All right, let's get started. It all starts with a dream. So dream big. The larger the dream, the more fun you'll have chasing it. Small dreams can fizzle out and may not prove worthy of the race once you get in there. When you see yourself winning your own race, you'll stop at nothing to get your hands on that prize. Are you willing to take action to become the best version of yourself? Take that vision and focus on it until you start believing it. You think it, you dream it, and start living your life inside that vision. Let every part of your body be one with your vision. Embrace the critical balance between satisfaction and ecstasy. For now, concentrate on one vision at a time until you become confident and fully self-aware. Give yourself time and emotional space to create that vision of your life. If you become distracted by other visions, write them down to review later. Choose what is important to you right now and what you can accomplish right now. After you've conceived a perfect vision for yourself, can you illustrate it perfectly in color? You don't need to be an artist for this exercise to put your ideas on paper. Seeing a picture, though, can give you something tangible to look at every day to remind you of what you're going after. For example, if you see yourself as an author, well, sketch out a rough draft of your book cover. If you're inclined, think about creating a 3D product image to showcase your ideas, including different items that relate to that book, posters and ebook readers, and something that displays something that you can look at daily. This is your vision. So don't let the sky limit your possibilities. Can you convert your idea into merchandise? Then look at sample products online at websites like Zazzle.com and others. Create mugs, t-shirts, mouse pads, you name it. Hey, if you can see it, you can do it. Can you picture yourself as an action figure or a bubblehead doll representing your vision? These things kind of bode well as giveaways if you're a speaker or in the public eye. All right, I'm just going to stop the recording. You get the gist. Did you sense in there where I paused in sections? Did you see where I skipped over words that I thought, that's not what I want to read? And I kind of ad-libbed and I made up my own wording, but I kept flowing with my recording. I didn't stop. I hope you pick up certain ways that I use pitch, tonality, fluctuation, pauses, enunciation when I speak. Borrow some of that for yourself. Hey, let's clean up this audio. Highlight, copy some silence, go to the start. Let's blow this up. Highlight, paste, listen. Component number 2, visual. Love it. Oh, what's this? Now that you've assessed, we got a mistake in there. Going to highlight it, and I'm going to paste. Actually, I'll just delete. Bam. Visualize what you want. Now that you've assessed, did you hear that noise? Okay, we got to get rid of that. It's probably the mouse wheel. So I'm going to paste this silence. Visualize what you want. Now that you've perfect, no sound, go to the end, highlight, paste over this, Control V, or in the public eye. Excellent. I love how my audio tracks start with pure silence and they end with pure silence. So your audios should too. So when the listener transitions from one audio to the next audio, all they're going to hear is silence. It's great. Let's see if we have any mistakes in here. Here's one right here. And again, my eyes are really good at this. You totally can blow this up so you can see them too. But the truth is, you're going to start at the very beginning, and you're going to listen, and you're going to listen to your audio from start to finish. You'll just run across them just naturally as you progress through the audio. You'll just come across them. You'll listen, you'll listen, you'll listen, you'll listen. And then one time, one day, well, 1 hour, you'll just come across it and you'll be like, oh, there it is. And there it is. This is your vision. This is your vision. This is your vision. So don't let the sky, this is your vision. So don't let the sky limit your possibilities. Delete. Something that you can look at daily. This is your vision. So don't let the sky limit your possibilities. Perfect. I don't think there's any other mistakes in here. But imagine if there was, or you fixed them. You know, you went through the whole audio. And again, when you edit audio, which we're going to talk about in the next video tutorial, basically, you're going to start at the beginning. Component number 2. And you're going to go through the whole thing, cleaning it up, cleaning it up, cleaning it up, until it's perfect. No breaths, no snapping fingers, no mistakes, no strange noises. They've all been edited out because you took this little silence and you copied it and you pasted it right over where you want silence. Component number 2, visualize. Perfect. Now we got to save this audio. File, save, and there you go. Visualize what you want. Chapter number 2, or component number 2 in my book. And I'm going to go ahead and just open and take a look at this. Look at the order. Look at how this is coming. And I just clicked on the tab name to do the proper ordering. 00A, B, C, D, component 1, component 2. We are cruising right along. You know what? I'm going to do one more, and then I think you get the message. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to take this window. I'm going to close it. I'm going to go get a new recording window. Do you see how this is pretty much rinse and repeat? Open. Excellent. I'm only going to hit this recording button when I have my book ready to start recording. Let's scroll down. Component number 3. Let's hit the recording icon. Component number 3, plan your success. So, you've assessed your situation and you know exactly where you are at this moment. You also know exactly where you want to be. You also have pictured the perfect vision for where you want to or ought to be or be doing. If your brain can see your success, then you will believe it and you will achieve it. Now, it's time to devise a detailed plan that will clearly identify the steps you need to take to turn that vision into a reality. Check this out. Now, I've actually outlined how to create a personal business plan in some of my other books. For example, BS the Book or Rich Coach, Broke Coach, and I have this other book as well. I stress the importance of creating a workable plan for what you want to do. Business plans, for example, don't have to be complicated or amass several pages of heavy financial data. No, they could be, number 1, written as basic. They could be, number 1, written as basic as a roadmap of what your vision looks like. Number 2, show how you'll get there. Number 3, what tools or training you'll need to acquire along the way. And number 4, what victory looks like when you get there. The main purpose of any plan is to help keep you organized and focused. A plan serves as a useful guided tool and reference manual for how you'll accomplish a particular task when the time comes. Consider including the following sections in your personal business plan. Check this out. Basic plan components. I'm going to stop the recording. You can imagine me just continually reading all of this information for this section. And again, I do like to look ahead and go, oh, let's see, how many pages do I have to read? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yikes. I tell you what, this is a big section. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to decide, since this is, and let's say this was like 15 pages or something, I'm going to decide to break this up into 2 sections. So there'll be a part 1 and a part 2 of component number 3, plan your success. So let's imagine that I read to a certain point in this section and I just called it quits because I said, hey, this is going to be a 15-minute audio. That's it. So if we take a look at this, here's a page that I'll read. I'll read page 18 and page 19. And I'll read page 20 up to this point right here. Life business plan. This will become part 2 of this section. It's a nice clean place to stop here and to start here. So part A, part B. So let's go ahead and save what we did record. And file, save. And in this case, I'm going to call this 03 part, section 03, part 1. So it's 3.1, plan your success. Component number 3, part 1. The next one, as I go and record, that'll be part 2. Okay, so I'm kind of glad we had this example where we recorded something that was going to be pretty big. Let's say it's an hour long, 60 minutes or 45 minutes. Break that stuff in 2. 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and 15 minutes. Break it up. So we're going to go ahead and save this as a WAV file. 3.1, save. Okay, good. We'll go ahead and highlight our silence, copy, go to the front. Component number 3. Okay, just highlight that. Control V, paste. Excellent. Go to the end. Highlight, paste. Basic plan components. Excellent. Did we have any mistakes in here? Here's a mistake. They could be as basic. No, they could be number 1, written as basic. They could be number 1, written as, no, they could be. Okay, so here they can be, highlight that, delete, right past the snapping of the fingers. Bye. Financial data. No, they could be, number 1, written as basic as a roadmap of what. Excellent. Any other mistakes? All right, and remember, when you go through the editing process, which I'll show you in the next video tutorial, you're going to be highlighting silence or these areas, these gaps where there's these strange breathing noises and lip smacking, and you're just going to paste your silence over it. Plan your success. So you've assessed your. See, that sounds good. Okay, good. All right, well, just imagine that we recorded this whole section, page 1 of component number 3, page 2, page 3, page 4, and then we stopped and then we recorded this whole area, all of this as the part 2, and that would be a beast of a recording. You might even break it up into 3. It's all up to you. Save it as part 1, part 2, part 3. It's up to you. All right. Now you can imagine if I were to continue reading this book into an audiobook, I would go to my audio recording program and close this window, save my work, file, new, create a new recording window. Here it is. Click the recording button when I'm ready to record the next chapter or component or part. And here we are. And real quick, I'm going to take a look at how big this is. 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4. That's nothing. Hey, this is a nice short little section. I love that. Okay. So just imagine if we were to record it, component number 4 work. Let's start recording it. I would go ahead and click the recording icon and start recording for that section. And I'll just read like one paragraph. Component number 4, work your customized plan towards your goal. So, you have a vision, you've got your plan, and you know the reasons you chose to pursue a particular goal. Now what? Well, it's time to get to work. And this is when the real fun begins, in my book, working towards your ultimate goal. Now, here are some pointers I want to bring up about work and working towards your goal. Okay? Don't know where to start? Just follow the plan. Oh, you knew that. Seriously, start with 1 foot forward and go from there. Progress in the beginning doesn't need to be anything more than just something moving you forward. It'll get easier, per se, trust me, as you get into it. Also, work on your plan either in the open, if desired and required, or work on it in private, if possible. You know, we talked about this earlier. Either people know about your plan and your vision, and or you want them to. Otherwise, in the beginning, everything's on total and pure lockdown. No one is to know until you deem it to be the right time to bring them in on what you're up to. Better to hear words like, oh, I never knew what you were working on, versus, are you sure you know what you're doing? I don't think you can make it. You pick the words you'd rather hear. Stop the recording, because you can imagine me continually reading this section. And it's really not that bad. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. It's nothing. And then what do? We highlight some silence. We copy it. We go to the start of the audio. We zoom in. We paste over the front, giving us total silence. Component number 4. Oh, gotta love it. Go to the end. Highlight. Paste. You pick the words you'd rather hear. Gotta love it. Did we make any mistakes? I'm just looking through here. I don't see any mistakes. But again, you're going to listen to the whole audio from start to finish, just so you can pick up the breaths. Component number 4, work your customized plan. So, you have a vision, and you're just going to go through and just clean up just the air pockets, highlighting. And it's just like highlighting anything with your mouse. You're just going to highlight. And if you think you got too much air or dead silence, just delete some of it, And that's it. Go through this. Oh, there's one right here. Paste that. Here's another one. The plan. Oh, you knew that. Seriously, start with 1 foot forward and go from there. This is really easy. I'm going to save my work. File, save. And what do you think we're going to name it? 04 or something? 04, work on your customized plan towards your goal. Wave file. Excellent. Perfect. And let me just open up that folder. And look at our progress. Look at the progress we've made. 00A, 00B, 00C, 00D, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and 3 had 2 parts. Remember, we broke that up because that was a large section. And then we had section 4, component number 4. Excellent. I think you see what's going on here. We're going to close this window. We're done. We edited it. File, new. Open up a new recording window. Go to the next section you're going to read. Just proceed through your book section by section. Component number 5, component number 6, in my case, or you might have chapters, until you're at the very end. There's component 10. And then we've got this little section here, this conclusion area. Let's recap. Summary. Are you motivated to succeed now? And how many pages is that? Oh my gosh, it's like 1 page. And as you record these, all you're doing is you're just saving them as you go along. That's pretty much how this is done. Rinse and repeat. Good stuff. Hey, I'm going to let you imagine me recording chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because we've done so well just to record these first sections, and we did it just amazingly. Watch this video over again just so you get in the pattern, the habit of understanding. Create a new audio window. When you have your section you want to record ready, click the record button. Let's recap. Summary. Are you motivated to succeed now? Now that you have read or listened to the audio version for Motivate Yourself to Succeed, are you inspired to, number 1, go after your dream, your goal, your idea, your vision? Number 2, are you excited to get out there and share it? Number 3, start having fun. And number 4, potentially earn a profit by doing it. Let's quickly recap the steps required to get fired up about your idea, act on it, and stay motivated throughout your journey to the goal line, victory, and beyond. Number 1, assess your current situation. Number 2, visualize what you want to accomplish. I'm just going to stop the recording because you can imagine me reading the rest of this page. Just imagine it, right? I know you can. What do? Highlight some silence, copy it, go to the front, highlight it, paste silence. Let's recap. Summary. Oh, sounds so good. Go to the end, highlight the end, paste our silence. What you want to accomplish. What you want to accomplish. Love it. Did we make any mistakes in here? No mistakes. Now let's save this last audio section that we recorded. And we're going to give it a name. Let's recap summary. That's the name of this section. It really doesn't belong in the chapter titles, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But it does belong in the sequence. So if it's a back pages type audio, let's recap, summary, conclusion. I'm just going to go ahead and put an 11 there so that it ends right after 10. Okay, so 11, let's recap. But take a look at what you've recorded. Look at what we've done. We recorded all this. We got the audiobook done. And granted, it'll take longer than the time we spent together, but you get the idea. We cruised through these and we edited them very well. In the next video tutorial, I'm going to really talk about editing though, and that's really important. So let's go ahead and save our work. And again, you copy your silence. We did this already, but paste it, go to the end, paste it, go through the whole thing. Let's recap. Summary. Are you motivated to succeed now? Succeed now? Hey, we've done good, haven't we? And you did excellent. You were creating new audio recording windows. You were saving your audio after you edited it. You were using a recording window of silence so that we can create pure, clean silence between gaps of audio spoken word. Hey, review this video just to get the hang of it, but I think you got the hang of it. The sequence. It's completely rinse and repeat stuff. You're doing great. Let's go to the next video tutorial in the series and let me get into audio editing really deeply. You're going to learn a lot really quickly so you can get back to your audio recording and record your entire audiobook with confidence and clarity, and it'll be a clean audio piece of work. In advance, congratulations. Good job. Job well done.